Earth is a strange place. Most of what happens on it defies any explanation. These shots will both terrify you and make you admire. Let's go.
You will never get into such a situation because I wish you good luck.
The rockfall that descended from the cliff exposed people walking below to real danger. Tsunami is one of the main natural hazards. One wave can destroy and flood entire streets. The city was covered by such a powerful wind that the girl could hardly stand on her feet. Probably one of the scariest sights is how your house goes under the water before your eyes. Let's make a deal. We no longer believe in the myth that lightning does not strike the same point twice. The owners of these cars clearly feel helplessness against flooding as never before. It seems to me that pits on the roads are far from the main problem for local residents. I don't know how many extreme sports fans there are among you, but I would definitely not advise you to walk in this weather. Volcanoes are dangerous not only by lava, but also by throwing ash for several kilometers around. Apparently, this destructive tornado was not ready for shooting, so it confidently headed towards the cameraman. Sometimes bad weather can demolish not only cars, but also, for example, a whole house. Hurricane in Hawaii left the residents of this house literally without a roof over their heads. I wouldn't want to see it live. The landslide turned an entire street into a dump in just a few minutes. Part of this bridge not only collapsed, but also added a surprise in the form of a wiring closure. A landslide in Mexico destroyed a house that was in his way. It looks like this guy now has a reason to celebrate his second birthday. Despite the stunning views and favorable weather, there are also landslides and floods in the mountains of Switzerland. And these incidents are no less dangerous and destructive than in other places. The drivers of these cars were clearly lucky. If their speed had been a little less, everything could have ended in tragedy. Few people know, but tornadoes can be found in almost any part of the world, for example in Saudi Arabia. Here are scary but impressive shots of how quickly and mercilessly a tsunami covers an entire town. Spectacular, beautiful, but at the same time creepy tornado shots in slow motion. It's like time has stopped. Not every building can provide you with safety during a hurricane. It seems to us that life on the coast is what we need to strive for, but coastal cities have another side of the coin. Of course, hail is one of the most life-threatening phenomena, but most often it is merciless to property that is difficult to hide from it. In general, like the flood that turned dozens of cars into boats. A huge stream of water demolishes a tree. If this doesn't impress you much, then wait a couple more seconds. Speaking of natural disasters, we must not forget that forest fires are one of the most serious problems that millions of dollars are spent on every year. Flooding in Oman looks really creepy, but at the same time incredibly impressive. Often, due to natural disasters, people lose their homes along with all their property. An incredibly powerful tornado was shot from a fairly close distance, but just looking at it makes you uncomfortable. It's hard to envy this family after their house has survived a real deadly hurricane. Sometimes with a strong flood there is no other way out but to get out of trouble on your own. But unfortunately the chances of escaping without losses in such a situation are not very high. The flood washed away dozens of cars and sent them sailing through the streets of the city, bringing huge losses to the owners. Looking at how easily houses and entire blocks float away from their place, I ask a logical question. What are all these buildings made of? These shots are very similar to a horror movie were shot during a very strong hurricane. Severe flooding in Japan forced this house to have the functions of a large boat. As a rule, the bridge is a heavy, strong structure. However, there is nothing indestructible for the flow of water. At such moments, you are glad that you see this hurricane through the monitor screen, and you are not walking down the street with the opportunity to meet a pile of metal flying towards you. The wind can tear the roof off a building if it reaches 25 meters per second, but something tells me that this speed is much higher here. If you jump high enough on this trampoline now, you can get an unforgettable experience. The tree could not withstand a powerful gust of wind and destroyed a nearby house. The hurricane wind lifted this heavy metal roof by several meters, as if it were some kind of wrapper. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your like and write in the comments which video you like the most. See you soon. Peace.